You replay the moment over and over. In the shower, during your commute, lying in bed at 3 in the morning, you think of what you should have said, the perfect response that would have dismantled them, the sentence that would have flipped the entire interaction. But you didn't say it. You fumbled. You got emotional. You lost control of the frame. And because you lost control, you lost everything. The world wants you to believe that arguments are about being right, that if you just present your case logically, if you just explain your position clearly enough, the other person will see reason. That is a fantasy. Arguments have never been about truth. They are about dominance. They are about who controls the frame of reality. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this 500 years ago. He saw through the illusion that most people still cling to today. Human beings are not rational creatures who occasionally feel emotion. We're emotional creatures who occasionally use reason to justify what we already feel. We do not bow to logic. We bow to power. We do not respect the person with the best argument. We respect the person who remains unshakable. Most people crumble under pressure. They defend themselves, they explain, they justify. They raise their voice or break down crying. They hand over their power because they desperately need to be understood. But here is what Machiavelli would tell you. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be respected. And respect is not given to those who beg for it. It is given to those who command it through their presence, their composure, and their refusal to be moved. Today you are going to learn 7 responses that do not just win arguments, they end them. These are not clever comebacks you memorize to sound smart at dinner parties. These are psychological tools designed to dismantle the other person's ability to control you. Each one is a blade, sharp, precise, and devastatingly effective when used correctly. The 7th one is the nuclear option. It is so final, so dismissive that it does not just end the argument. It redefines the power dynamic of the relationship permanently. But I need to warn you about something. Once you learn how to do this, you will start seeing the world differently. You will see social interactions as games with rules that most people do not even know exist. You will stop reacting to attacks and start analyzing them. You will feel the heat leave your body and something colder take its place. That coldness is not cruelty. It is clarity. And in that clarity, you will find a kind of power that most people never access because they are too busy being controlled by their emotions. Let's begin. The first response is what I call the compassionate reframe. When someone attacks you, they expect you to attack back. They are braced for it. Their entire strategy depends on you getting defensive, angry, or hurt. They want to drag you into the emotional mud with them because in that chaos, they feel powerful. But Machiavelli teaches us never to fight on terrain chosen by the enemy. So instead of meeting their aggression with more aggression, you do something that completely disrupts their script. You respond with concern. Imagine this, someone is shouting at you. They are red in the face, pointing fingers, maybe even insulting you directly. Every instinct in your body wants to defend yourself, but you do not. Instead, you let them finish. You wait 2 full seconds after they stop talking. You let the silence sit there. And then with a calm and almost gentle tone, you say this. Are you okay? You seem really upset right now. Watch what happens. Their brain short-circuits. They were expecting resistance. They were expecting you to justify yourself or fire back. Instead, you just reframed the entire situation. You are no longer the target. You are the observer. You are no longer their equal in this fight. You are the stable one, and they are the one losing control. You have taken the role of the doctor, and they have become the patient. This is devastating because anger is a status play. The person who is calm holds the higher ground. By pointing out their emotional state, you are essentially saying, I am in control of myself, and you are not. If they try to continue, if they say something like, of course I'm upset, you did this or that, you do not defend the accusation. You stay in the frame you just created. You nod slowly, maintaining that calm, almost clinical gaze, and you say, I hear you. But this level of emotion seems disproportionate to the situation. Is there something else going on? Now you have done something extremely powerful. You have made them self-conscious. You have forced them to question their own reaction. They are no longer attacking you. They are now defending their emotional state, And the moment someone starts defending themselves, they have lost. Think about the power dynamics at play here. A king does not scream at a peasant. A parent does not scream at a toddler. The person who screams is the person who feels they have lost control. By calmly pointing out their loss of control, you remind them of their lower position in this moment. You are holding up a mirror, and what they see is not pretty. A red-faced, out-of-control version of themselves. Most people cannot handle that image. They will lower their voice, they will back down. Because if they keep screaming after you have asked if they are okay, they prove your point. They confirm that they are unstable. You win without ever raising your voice. The second response is the conversational dead end. There is a certain kind of person who loves conflict for its own sake. The intellectual bully, the person at the family gathering who brings up politics just to watch people squirm. The coworker who plays devil's advocate, not because they care about the topic, but because they enjoy seeing you flustered. These people feed on your reaction. They need you to push back because that gives them energy. It gives them supply. The argument itself is the reward. If you engage with the content of what they are saying, you lose. Because the content does not matter. The game is the point. Machiavelli taught that a wise prince does not waste resources on battles that yield no territory. Arguing with someone who has no intention of changing their mind is a waste of your most valuable resource, your energy. So you cut off the supply. When they finish their provocative statement, when they drop that inflammatory opinion designed to bait you, you do not take the bait. You do not argue the facts. You do not get defensive. You look at them with a neutral expression, no smile, no frown, and you say this. That's an interesting perspective. And then, and this is critical, you go back to whatever you were doing. You take a sip of your drink. You glance at your phone. You turn to someone else and change the subject. You have acknowledged that they spoke, but you have denied them significance. The phrase itself is polite on the surface, but it is deeply dismissive at its core. You are treating their passionate opinion like a child's crayon drawing. That's nice, sweetie. You are telling them, I heard you, I processed it, and I have decided it is not worth my time. They will hate this. They will try again. So do you agree with me or not? What do you think? You repeat the wall. I think it is a perspective, and you are entitled to it. You are not giving them anything to push against. You are a smooth surface. They can throw themselves at you all day, but they will only bruise their own knuckles. You remain unmoved. This teaches people a very important lesson about you. It teaches them that you are not a source of entertainment. You are not a toy that makes noise when they press the button. Eventually, they stop pressing. Not because they respect your opinion, but because you have become boring to them. And being boring to a provocateur is the safest position you can occupy. The third response is the power of the pause. We are terrified of silence. In most social settings, a gap in conversation feels like a threat. It feels like something is wrong. So when someone insults us or asks a loaded question, our instinct is to fill that silence immediately. We rush to respond, we stammer, we defend. We say the first thing that comes to mind, and it is almost always the wrong thing. But power lives in the gap. Machiavelli knew that the prince who speaks less is feared more. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. When someone hits you with a rude comment, a trap question, or an outright lie, do not respond immediately. Do not react. Look at them, lock eyes, and count to 4 in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds of silence during a confrontation feels like an eternity. It creates a vacuum, and the human brain abhors a vacuum. The other person will start to panic. Did they hear me? Did I go too far? Why are they not reacting? What are they thinking? In that silence, you are doing something most people never do. You are taking control of time itself. You are showing that you are not reactive, you are deliberate. You are processing, you are judging. After the pause, you do not even need a clever comeback. The silence was the comeback, but if you choose to speak, you can say something that puts the burden back on them. Could you repeat that? Say it slowly, calmly, with no aggression in your tone. Now, they have to say the rude thing again, but this time the heat of the moment is gone, the spontaneity is gone. Repeating an insult makes it sound worse. It makes the person saying it feel foolish. They will often stutter, rephrase, or back down entirely. And in that moment, they are explaining themselves to you. The person who explains is the person who is lost. You have used time as a weapon. You have forced them to sit in the discomfort of their own aggression, and most people cannot handle that. They will fill the silence with an apology, a justification, or a retreat. Master the pause, and you master the interaction. The fourth response is the agreement reversal. This is psychological judo. In judo, you do not block your opponent's force. You redirect it. You pull them forward so they fall on their face. When someone attacks your character, they are expecting resistance. They are braced for you to say, "No, I'm not," or "That's not true." So do not give them that. If someone throws a subjective judgment at you, agree with it. "You are being so difficult right now." Your response? "You're right. I am being difficult. You don't care about anyone but yourself." Your response? "I can see why it feels that way." Do not say it sarcastically. Do not say it with a smirk. Say it as if you are stating a simple fact. What can they do now? They swung the bat and hit nothing but air. They have no follow-up. By agreeing, you disarm the weapon. You strip the insult of its power to hurt you. If you accept the label, it cannot be used to shame you. But here is the deeper layer. You are not agreeing with their assessment of your soul. You are agreeing with the surface truth of the moment. If they say you are being arrogant and you say, "I can be arrogant sometimes," you are simply admitting to being human. You are taking the sting out of the accusation. But then you pivot. "You're right. I am being difficult about this because this matters to me. So how do we solve it?" See what you just did? You accepted the insult, brushed it off like dust, and redirected the conversation back to the goal. You showed that your ego is not fragile. You showed that you are focused on outcomes, not emotions. This signals immense confidence. Only a person who is truly secure can admit a flaw without crumbling. It confuses the attacker. They wanted a fight. You gave them a negotiation. They wanted to hurt your feelings. You showed them you have no feelings to hurt, at least not ones they can access. You become untouchable. They cannot hit what they cannot reach. The fifth response is the intent extraction. This one is for the manipulators, the passive-aggressive ones, the people who hide their insults inside jokes or so-called constructive criticism. They rely on plausible deniability. If you get upset, they say, "I was just joking," or "You're too sensitive." They operate in the shadows, and that is where their power lives. Your job is to drag them into the light. When someone makes a snide comment or undermines you subtly, you stop the conversation. You do not let it slide. You ask a question that cuts through the noise and exposes their strategy. What is your goal with that comment? Or are you trying to be helpful, or are you trying to hurt me? This is a direct confrontation of their tactic. You are pulling back the curtain. You are exposing the game board. If they say, "I was just joking," you stay serious. You do not smile. You say, "Explain the joke to me. I don't get it." Now they are forced to dissect their own malice. They have to explain why cruelty is funny. It is excruciating for them. They will squirm. They will try to laugh it off. They will look for an exit. By asking what is your goal, you are forcing them to admit their intent. If they say, "I'm just trying to help," you respond, "It doesn't feel like help. It feels like criticism. If you want to help, do it differently." You are setting a boundary in real time. You are teaching them that covert aggression will not work on you. You will decode it, expose it, and reject it. Machiavelli said that one must be a fox to recognize traps. This question is the fox. It sniffs out the trap and dismantles it before you step inside. It requires courage. It requires you to be willing to make the moment uncomfortable. But remember, the discomfort belongs to them, not you. They created it. You just turned on the lights. If the room looks ugly now, it is because of the mess they made. The sixth response is the withdrawal of respect. Anger is hot. Disappointment is cold. When you get angry at someone, you are treating them as an equal. You are treating them as a threat worth engaging. Disappointment, on the other hand, implies hierarchy. It implies that they were beneath your expectations and have now fallen even further. This is a high-status move. It works best on people who seek your approval or people who pride themselves on being good, competent, or respectable. When someone lies to you, breaks a promise, or behaves in a way that disrespects you, do not yell. Yelling shows they got to you. Instead, you look at them with a tired, heavy expression. You let out a quiet sigh and you say, "I'm surprised. I expected better from you." This cuts deeper than any insult. It targets their shame. It implies that they had standing in your eyes and they just lost it. You are positioning yourself as the judge, the authority, the one whose opinion matters. "I thought you were different. I didn't think you were the kind of person who would do this." You are using their own ego against them. Most people want to be seen as good. They want to be seen as trustworthy. You are telling them you are failing at being the person you pretend to be. And then you walk away. You leave them sitting with that sentence. You do not wait for their response. You withdraw. This creates a vacuum. They will chase you. They will try to explain. They will try to fix it. Not because they are sorry, but because you have taken away something they need. Your respect. You have turned the dynamic upside down. Instead of you chasing them for an apology, they are chasing you for validation. This is soft power at its finest. You are not forcing them to change. You are making them want to change to regain what they lost. But use this carefully. It is a heavy tool. It damages bonds. Only deploy it when the bond has already been damaged by their behavior. The seventh response is the ultimate withdrawal. There are some arguments that cannot be won. There are some people who are not interested in resolution. They are chaos agents, narcissists, energy vampires. They do not want to solve the problem. They want the fight. The fight is the point. As long as you are engaged, they are winning, because they are consuming your time, your energy, your peace. The ultimate Machiavellian move is to recognize when your attention is being wasted and to stop giving it. Your attention is the most valuable resource you have. You can choose to stop spending it. When you realize the conversation is going in circles, when you realize they are not listening, when you see that they are simply feeding on the conflict, you deploy the nuclear option. You stop, you gather yourself. You look them in the eye, completely calm, not angry, just done, and you say, "You can believe whatever you want. I don't care enough to argue with you about this." And then you leave, or even shorter. "You're right, I'm done." This is the ultimate rejection. You are not saying "I give up." You are saying you are not worth the effort. You are telling them that their opinion, their anger, their entire existence in this moment is not significant enough to warrant another second of your time. You are devaluing them to zero. For someone who thrives on attention or dominance, this is psychological annihilation. They will scream at your back. They will try to provoke you into turning around. "Oh, so you're just going to run away?" Keep walking. You can't handle the truth? Keep walking. Your silence as you walk away is the loudest statement you will ever make. It establishes that you control access to you. You are the gatekeeper. When someone disrespects the sanctuary of your peace, they lose access. This creates a void they cannot fill. They are left alone with their anger, and that anger has nowhere to go but inward. They poison themselves. You are free. Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved. In this context, fear means respect. It means people know you have boundaries. It means they know you cannot be bullied, baited, or broken. It means they know that if they push too hard, you will not explode. You will simply disappear. And that is a kind of power that no amount of money can buy. Now listen carefully. These 7 responses are tools, but a tool is useless in a shaking hand. The words themselves do not matter if your energy is frantic. The delivery is 90% of the impact. You must cultivate what I call the sovereign state: low heart rate, deep, controlled breathing, steady eye contact. When chaos erupts around you, you slow down. They speed up, you slow down. They raise their voice, you lower yours. This contrast is what makes these techniques devastating. It is the contrast between a hurricane and a mountain. The hurricane screams and destroys itself. The mountain does not move. Most people live their lives as passengers. They are tossed around by the emotions of others. A boss yells, they shrink. A partner criticizes, they crumble. They are puppets. and the world pulls their strings, you are going to cut those strings. When you use these techniques, you are taking back control of your own nervous system. You are deciding how you will respond instead of being controlled by reflex. It will feel strange at first. Your old self will resist. Your old self wants to defend. Your old self wants to be liked. Your old self wants to explain and justify and make everyone understand. Let that self die. It has not served you. The new you does not explain. The new you observes. The new you decides. The new you speaks once, with precision, and then lets silence carry the weight. There is a paradox here that you need to understand. The more willing you are to walk away from a conversation, the more control you have over it. The less you need to win, the more often you will win. The more comfortable you become with the coldness of detachment, the more inner peace you will experience. This is forbidden knowledge because society does not want you to have it. Society wants you reactive. Reactive people are easy to control. Reactive people buy things to soothe their anxiety. Reactive people vote out of fear. Reactive people are obedient. Do not be reactive. Be strategic. Step out of the chaos. Step into the clarity. Machiavelli did not write for the masses. He wrote for the prince. You are the prince of your own life. Start acting like it. If this resonated with you, if you felt something shift as you listened, then you are ready for more. But understand there are layers to this work that cannot be shared openly. There are techniques, strategies, and frameworks that go far beyond what can be discussed in a public video. The algorithm does not reward depth, it rewards safety. And what I teach is not safe. It is effective. That is why the deepest material exists behind the membership. If you are still here, you are not like most people. Most people clicked away in the first 2 minutes. You stayed. That tells me something about you. Subscribe if you have not already. But if you want access to what is hidden, if you want the uncensored strategies that I cannot share publicly, click the join button. Step into the inner circle. You will unlock exclusive content that goes deeper into the psychology of power, influence, and control. Most will not take that step, and that is exactly the point.